Hi, my name is Cricket, J. Cricket, but you can just call me Jiminy. I'm going to tell you a story about 3 bears. But it's not the story you expect. It's about a little girl bear and a big, burly, brawny brown bear. But mostly, this is the story about Bongo. He was a circus bear. Born in a circus, grew up in a circus. In fact, Bongo was the star of the circus. Why, he could juggle and dance while on a trapeze, walk a tightrope with the greatest of ease, super at wrestling and lifting weights, outboxed the champs of 17 states. They all packed in from near and far to see this talented circus star. For Bongo had nerves of solid steel, and he rode on a bicycle with just one wheel. It's called a unicycle, and it's hard to balance. But like I said, Bongo had talents. Well, anyway, he rode this one-wheel thing on a tight wire high above the center ring. Then for a climax, he gracefully plunged 300 feet into a wet sponge. But Bongo wasn't happy. You'd think he'd be treated like a king, pampered like a baby, being the star of the circus and all, but no. Poor Bongo lived almost like a prisoner. The minute he was finished with his act, he'd get thrown into a cage with iron bars and a great big lock on the door. But sometimes as Bongo lay in his cage on the circus train, his thoughts would wander. He would dream of a wonderful imaginary life far away from the circus, a happy, carefree life in the great open spaces. And sometimes when the circus train started moving into the night, it seemed to be speaking to Bongo. It seemed to say, but it wasn't the train, really. It was the call of the wild ringing in Bongo's ears.
Come on up, Bongo.
Finally, Bongo couldn't stand it any longer. He had to escape. He had to get away.
Gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get away.
He shook the bars on his cage as hard as he could. And suddenly, the lock fell off. And Bongo was free. Out of the door of his cage, he flew on his unicycle, off of the train, and right into a clump of wildflowers in the woods. And oh, Bongo thought it was just wonderful, even better than he'd expected. There were flowers and birds, and trees and squirrels, and a cool breeze coming over the hill. Now this is living, said Bongo. I love to hang around the lazy countryside with nature's gang around the lazy countryside, where the crickets you don't hear in the city keep a humming in your ear, oh so pretty, and it's just too much for words. Listening to the chorus of the birds, I'd like to stay around the lazy countryside. Just kind of play around the lazy countryside. Oh, what fun in taking the sun in and to roam the spaces wide. It's the place for me. Gee, but it's great to be round the lazy countryside. Yes, Bongo the little circus bear was free at last. Free as the birds, free as the air. He was on his own now. For the first time in his life, but that meant he'd have to get his own food, and Bongo was hungry. He tried picking berries, but they weren't very filling. Then he tried fishing. The fish all got away. But what was this? Right before his eyes, Bongo saw another little bear, and the bear was smiling at him. For a moment, Bongo thought he must be dreaming. He pinched himself. Ouch! But the little bear was still there, so Bongo scampered over to get acquainted. "Hello," he said shyly. "My name is Bongo," and he tipped his little circus cap. "My name is Lulabelle," said the other little bear. "Let's play something." Well, this was wonderful. For the first time in his life, Bongo had a playmate. Bongo was so happy he just couldn't believe what was happening to him. This is too good to be true. Can this be paradise? Can it be you so close to me? But if you're only passing through, then take me to heaven with you. Or is this a dream too good to be true? Bongo was so busy thinking how happy he was that he didn't notice the crashing of the underbrush as Lumpjaw, the biggest, toughest bear in the forest, came stamping out. Before Bongo knew what was happening to him, Lumpjaw knocked him right into a tree trunk. As Bongo got up and shook his dizzy head, Lumpjaw lunged forward to hit him again. But Lulabelle stepped between them, and while Lumpjaw fumed, she walked up to Bongo and slapped him soundly on the cheek. Bongo couldn't believe it. He turned and sadly rode away on his unicycle. How could he know that when a girl bear likes a boy bear, she says it with a slap? "I never should have left this circus," said Bongo. "Guess nobody likes me here." Then Bongo heard a strange sound. Bongo crept to the edge of an open clearing, full of bears, shuffling about in a clumsy dance, singing and exchanging clumsy bear slaps. "Why, they're slapping each other," Bongo said. "And they're not cross. They like each other. Gosh!" When a bird loves a bird, he can twitter. When a puppy falls in love, he can yap. Every pigeon likes to coo when he says, "I love you." But a bear likes to say it with a slap. When a whippoorwill's in love, he can whipper. All the cats meow and all the turtles snap. Let the others hug and kiss, but the bear facts are this, that a bear likes to say it with a slap. Slap, slap. When Bongo heard the words of the song, he realized what Lulabelle really meant when she had slapped him. So he rushed out into the clearing where she was dancing with Lumpjaw and gave her a good sound slap. Lulabelle was delighted, but not Lumpjaw. He was angry. He snorted. He roared. He chased Bongo through the forest and hurled trees and rocks at the little bear as he went. Finally, Lumpjaw cornered Bongo at the edge of a cliff. There they teetered and tottered and struggled until they tumbled down into the roaring river. Down the swift water the two bears were swept, closer and closer to the great white foaming falls. And then suddenly, over the falls they went and disappeared. The other bears gave them both up as lost forever. But what was this? Up the steep riverbank came Bongo, dripping wet, but a proud and happy little bear. He'd been saved by the branch of an old tree that stuck out of the rocks and broke his fall. "I'm back," he said to Lulabelle, and he said it with a real bear slap. "I'm glad," she said with a pat that knocked him down. "This is the life," said Bongo, throwing away his little circus cap forever. "I'm Bongo, the woods bear now."